Hey, Merry Christmas. I'm John Fredericks, and I am your Godzilla of the Truth in America. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah to all. Joining us now, our good friend. Haven't seen him in a while. And I saw him on the schedule today. It's very rare that I see somebody on the schedule. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Tony Abboud is back with us. And the thing I love about Tony is he's my connection to the vape world. He is the executive director of Vape Tech, and vapor is a big part. This is, Tony, a big part of the Trump coalition in winning young people who want to be able to vape. Over 18, got to be over 18 to vote, got to be over 18 to vape. And I know so many young people that are vapors. I'm not going to get into whether or not. All I know is it's better than smoking. And look, if you're over 18, you should be able to vape. And just like you can get a tattoo or other thing, I think you have to be 21 in order to do alcohol, right in the majority of states.
Right.
But Tony, the vaping industry, look, I want people to be able to choose what they prefer. And the whole vaping industry has opened up all these new small businesses all over the place. And of course, the Biden administration and the libtards tried to choke it off. Where are we now, Tony?
Well, I tell you, you are 100% correct. People who are over 21 should be able to vape. They should be able to try whatever products they want to. But as importantly as what you were saying, a lot of people are using these products to get off of smoking cigarettes. And in this election, the vaping voters spoke very, very loudly. They said, we're tired of what the Biden administration is doing. We're tired of being told what we can and we can't do. We're tired of being talked down to. And that is from a personal freedom perspective that came out very loud in this election. But right now, this administration, which has lost decidedly in this last election, is doing everything in its power, John, to shut down as many small businesses as they can and eliminate Americans' access to flavored vaping products in whatever way they can before they have to leave office and turn the reins over to President-elect Donald Trump, who has promised to save flavored vaping. They are trying to cause as much damage as possible on the way out the door and hurt our small businesses in the process, and they just don't care.
Well, their war on small business, which they've waged for 4 years because they don't want small businesses. It's a bane of the communists. It's a bane of the Marxists. It's a bane of the Democratic Party. They don't give them money. They don't vote for them. So they want them all to go away. What you're seeing now, not only it goes beyond vape. What you're seeing now is the earned retention credit, which is the money that was authorized by Congress to give to certain businesses that retain their employees so they didn't lay them off, so they didn't have to get unemployment. All that money was passed. It's not been distributed. There's billions, I think $10 billion of money that's not been distributed to businesses that are depending on that. All small businesses. Our company didn't qualify for it, so it's not a personal thing here. But many of my friends have, and they made decisions based on that. Many of my friends in the vaping business. One correction I want to make, I said vaping was 18. I'm sorry. I meant 21. I just got confused. You got to be 21 to vape. The whole war on vaping is like, well, if you're going to have a war on vaping at 21, why not get rid of cigarettes? Stop selling those. Stop selling alcohol. Go back to prohibition. I mean, if you're 21, you can't buy a pack of cigarettes. You can't buy a flavored vape. Okay. Correct. If you're 21 years old, shouldn't you be able to make that decision? And ask yourself now, how many people do you know that have quit smoking, leaning on vapes to get there? I'm one of them, right? I mean, I smoked a pack and a half a day like clockwork, and I'm like, okay, no good. I'm too old. It's got to go. I went to vaping, and that weaned me off it, and now I don't do either. But there's a lot of people like me that did this, Tony.
There are millions of Americans. And you know what? There are 30 million more smokers that are being told by the FDA and the CDC. Frankly, they're just being lied to. That vaping is as dangerous as smoking, that you should not even try to consider vaping if you're trying to quit smoking. I mean, this is absolute insanity. And this is the same FDA, mind you, that while they are refusing to authorize any new vaping products, They are authorizing cigarettes like they're going out of style. So the reality is that the hypocrisy that you were just talking about is rank. There is something rotten in the state of Denmark, as Shakespeare once said. And I think that what we have going on right now is the last throes and the dying gasps of an administration that has an ideology and a CTP, a Center for Tobacco Products, that just wants to get rid of all things nicotine, and they want to lay waste before they walk out the door. I mean, just recently they announced some crazy import alerts only to keep as many flavored vaping products out of the country and out of the hands of American consumers as they can. They did this a couple of days before Christmas, for God's sakes. I mean, what is going on with this administration when its bureaucratic agencies are running around executing their own agendas while they know that President Trump has said he is going to save flavored vaping, and he is going to save the small businesses all across the United States that are selling these products. He did it once before in 2019, and he is sure to do it again.
Well, Tony, here's the bottom line, okay? Follow the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats get bajillions of dollars from the tobacco lobby. That's what this whole thing is about, right? I mean, the Democrat communists have two things going on here. Number one, they're getting money from the tobacco lobby, which is the enemy of vaping, because they want you to keep smoking so you buy their product and die, right? So they want you to do that. And I'm going to be stark because, look, I was a smoker and I quit. And it's not easy. I mean, you're smoking a pack and a half a day, dude. You just don't get up and say, I'm done with this. I mean, come on. Pack and a half a day, every day, 7 days a week, outside in the cold. I mean, the only reason I ever got to know John Boehner is because I would go in his office and he'd see me there and he'd say, why don't we go up there and smoke? That was the only reason I got to know him, right? So, you're out there, in the cold, smoke. I don't know how many times I've done this, but it's a tobacco lobby. And then so many small businesses have popped up that are vape businesses, little storefronts, little entrepreneurs. And the Democratic Party hates that. They want them out. So therefore you have the war on vape, which to me is borderline criminal.
Well, we're talking about an industry here that generates $17.5 billion in economic impact for the United States, okay? We're talking about real people who have employed hundreds of thousands of Americans, pay them hundreds of millions of dollars in wages and benefits. And like you said, they started their shops from the ground up. This was not a top-down, big company-driven industry. This is the true America. Entrepreneurs, people with ideas, people who are willing to take risks, people who are willing to build businesses, and they were building them for the right reasons because they got off of smoking cigarettes and they said, I have to share this. Quitting cigarettes was so hard. I have to share this with my friends. I have to share this with my community. And in that process, John, over the last 10 years, we have built a vibrant United States industry, which is selling a variety of products to adults. And guess what? Adults love these flavored vaping products. Yet we are still confronted with 4 years of this last administration doing everything in its power to shut these businesses down. These guys are going into a small business owner today. They are finding one product that they don't like, and they are using the Department of Justice. They're weaponizing DOJ to take this small business owner to court for a first-time offense of $21,000. This is a war on small businesses, and there's only one person now that can stop it, and that is President Trump.
How do we help the vaping industry? Like, what does Trump have to do? What do we have to do?
Well, the first thing he has to do is say that he is going to fix this broken system. This is the most inefficient, backwards, bureaucratic system that has been implemented. The regulation itself is broken. And so he has to replace that with a transparent, streamlined regulation that will allow you as businesses to actually know what the government wants when it says provide us information, and knows how it has to actually conduct the standings, but also ensures that the politicians inside the FDA cannot overrule the scientists. I bet you right now that there are hundreds of thousands of products that are waiting for approval, but you have one person at the top of the Center for Tobacco Products that just won't do it. And so therefore, he is going to deny what the scientists have said are okay, and therefore deny tens of millions of Americans access to flavored vapes. That's what's been happening over the last 4 years. It's broken, and President Trump can fix it by announcing to the country, I know it's broken. We are going in a new direction. We are going to elevate science over this political science that's been going on. And we are going to save small businesses by giving them a fair shot at working through the process.
And look, I mean, leave it up to the market. If there wasn't a market
Amen.
for vaping, there wouldn't be vaping stores. I mean, nobody would buy it.
That's
I mean,
right.
It's like that's why nobody buys electric cars, because there's not a market for it. That's why we got to subsidize it. And we just found out from Rand Paul spend billions of dollars on advertising through the government to get people to buy something they don't want. Let the market decide has been my thing. Because look,
we could
right?
not agree with you more. Couldn't agree with you more. I mean, right now, what the government has done is created a regulated gray market that's controlled by the FDA. They've picked basically 3 companies that can make only a handful of products for tens of millions of adults. Tell me any other industry in which that's supposed to work. Well, it may work in other countries, but it should not work in the United States of America. We should let the free market reign. Let companies submit their products and let the Americans have access to their vapes.
Tony Aboud, we gotta go.
Yeah, I hear the music.
And VTA, Vape Technology Association, VTA.